Now the Tata Harrier has been a popular choice in the Indian market for a long time. Now Tata keeps their customers engaged by bringing in new limited editions of the Harrier and all their products. The Harrier we have seen in different editions, including the dark edition, the camo edition and various other editions as well. Now Tata has got a facelifted model of the Harrier and it doesn't look anything like the previous version. There are a lot of changes in this car inside out, but mechanically it remains the same. So what are the new changes? What are the new features? We'll talk about all of that in this video, so make sure that you watch this till the end. Now, even though the Tata Harrier used to look muscular and bold even in the pre-facelift version, with the new Harrier it now looks modern as well. The aiding to that new looks is this new grille, which has become sleeker, but it has become wider than before. If you look at the lower portion, it has become much wider than before, and if you look closely, this is not chrome. Tata says that this is a new foil material which is much more environmentally friendly compared to the chrome that they used to use. Apart from that, you get a glossy finish on the upper part, and you get the LED bar light that we have seen with the Nexon as well. It does have this welcome and goodbye gesture that we have seen with the Nexon. Apart from that, it remains turned on or switched on whenever you turn on the engine and drive it around, and it is quite bright as well. You get the dynamic indicators which you also saw on the Nexon. Apart from that, the headlamp cluster is positioned right below. This is the LED headlamp and this is the LED fog lamp. You also get a functional air curtain which will shield the wheels when the car is moving at a high speed and increase the aerodynamics of the vehicle. Now coming to the side, you will see a lot of thick claddings all around the vehicle, which adds to the muscular and bold look of the car. You do get a new looking alloy wheel, but these are not as attractive as we would have liked them to be. Apart from that, you get a new badging of Harrier on the side. So you can see that the new fonts of Harrier right on the side of the vehicle, and Tata has not used any chrome on the side of the vehicle. So all the door handles and everything else, they remain body color, and since this is a dual tone finish, you will see the upper part finish in all black. You do get the 360-degree cameras. They are integrated to the ORVMs as well. Now coming to the rear of the vehicle, you will see a new kind of newly designed tail lamp and this 3D accentuate which we first saw with the Tata Altros and then with the Nexon. It also gets a LED bar in the rear as well, which connects both the tail lamps, and it also shows you a lot of gestures like the welcoming gesture and the goodbye gesture, just like the front LED bar. Also, you get a new bumper which gets a gloss finish and a newly designed aerodynamics. Well, these are not functional aerodynamics, but they do look muscular and bold with the car. So these are all of the changes that the new Tata Harrier gets. It definitely looks bolder than before, but there are parts which will definitely get scratched very easily, especially these gloss finish parts at the front and the rear of the vehicle. Now the new Harrier, it always used to be a car for the young generation, but from the cabin now, it looks like a car for young generation now, especially the top end variant, the top end Persona variant that we are driving. It gets a very contrasting looking dashboard, and it is nothing like we used to see in the previous version of the car. So this is a gloss finish on the dashboard itself, and it does look quite attractive. I don't know how it will age or it will look over the time. Apart from that, you get the same soft touch material on the upper part of the dashboard. You get a new 12.2-inch infotainment system that floats in the middle of the center console. It gets a lot of features in itself, like wireless Android Auto, wireless CarPlay system, and it also gets Alexa system, which you can use to control your home devices. So if you have a lot of home devices which is controlled by Alexa, you can use this system to control your devices, and I think it's pretty cool, especially in today's age where a lot of young people are using connected devices. Apart from that, right in front of me lies an all digital instrument cluster. Now this is the same 10.25 inch cluster that we saw with the Tata Nexon as well, and it gets a lot of different kinds of dials or different kinds of themes that you can change according to your personification, according to your preference. It also gets a very unique Google Maps or any type of navigation screen in itself. So the whole screen, it turns into a navigation system, and even though it doesn't get an HUD which shows you turn by turn indication, you don't have to take your eyes off the road to and like look at this infotainment system to see where you need to go next. Apart from that, it gets a lot of glossy touches inside. So like the climate control system, it is all glossy finish starting right from the width of the dashboard. So this whole panel is gloss finish, and the climate control system itself, it's a capacitive touch. The important parts like the temperature control and the fan speed, they are toggle control, and since the car is turned off right now, you can't see anything right here. If I like press the button to start it, you will be able to see a few lights, and if I start the car, you will get to see another set of controls which glow up. So this is a nice touch that we first saw with the Tata Nexon. Apart from that, the steering wheel itself, it has been updated. It is a 4-spoke steering wheel with a flat bottom. Again, it gets a glossy finish on the steering wheel itself. The new age Tata logo, the Harrier also gets it. So it's somewhere inside, the logo is somewhere inside in this island, and it glows up as soon as the car turns on. Apart from that, you get a lot of space in the center console. There is a space to keep your phone. There are 2 USB chargers. There's a USB Type-C of 45 watts that you can use to charge your laptops and bigger devices like iPad. You get a normal regular USB-A type as well. You get a wireless phone charger right behind that. And behind that, you get a rotatory dial, which you used to see in the Tata Nexon Max. What you can use this for, you can rotate the dial to change the terrain modes of this car. You get the economy mode, you get the sport mode, and the hill descent control buttons right around this rotary dial. And behind that, since this is a manual transmission, you get a very ordinary looking gear lever. So this gear shaft, this gear lever, it looks out of the place, to be very honest, since everything around this vehicle looks very plush. This one looks like it could have gotten a little better, plusher in my opinion. What do you think? Do let us know in the comment section below. Behind that, you get the EPS or the electric parking brake system, then the button for auto hold. So if you want to deactivate or activate auto hold, you can do it from right here. A lot of gloss finish around this vehicle, which can catch a lot of scratches around. There are cup holders right behind that, which you can use to keep your things. And this armrest right here, it is cooled. So there is a small vent around here which throws the AC air inside to keep your small bottles or devices cool on the go. There's a 12-volt charging socket, a USB-C, and a regular USB at the front as well. Now Tata has not updated the seats in this car, but they remain as comfortable as before. They also get memory function, they are electrically adjustable, and you also get cool seat features which you can control from a little button from the side of the seat. Now we are in the rear seats of the new Tata Harrier and remains spacious as before. So you can see I can play around with my feet, and there is a lot of knee room as well. If you see at the space above my head, you will be able to notice that there is a lot of space above my head as well. And since it gets a massive panoramic sunroof, it feels very airy, even though Tata only offers a black themed cabin with the Harrier, which might make a few people feel claustrophobic. With a sunroof and massive windows, you do not really feel that when you travel in the rear seats. Apart from that, you get this foldable armrest with 2 cup holders. You also get this additional cushions for the rear seat passengers. There is no headrest for the middle passenger though. Apart from that, there are a few features addition, including this retractable curtain, which we will also see in the other car that Tata is going to launch with the Harrier. Apart from that, you get space just like before, some space here for the phones. You again get USB Type-C charger and the USB-A type charger for the rear passenger. So that's about it. It gets a lot of space. It gets a lot of space to keep your things. It gets a lot of space for your knees, and it will be able to handle 3 passengers quite comfortably, although the middle passenger will be feel a little bit uneasy because of this massive transmission tunnel. So overall, the Harrier remains the same, but it does get a lot of new features. While the new Tata Harrier has become new from the outside and the inside, and it also gets a new feature list, the engine and the transmission remains identical as the pre-facelift model. It still gets the 2-liter diesel engine, which generates a maximum power of 170 PS and a peak torque of 350 Nm. We are still waiting on an update of a petrol variant. Apart from that, it gets a 6-speed manual transmission that we are driving right now, and it also gets an automatic transmission. The manual transmission though, it remains worry-free. It remains without any problems, just like the transmission we had before. The clutch though, it is a long travel clutch, so you have to press it against the floor of the car to shift the gears, or even to start the car. Apart from that, the gear lever itself, it's a short throw, so you don't have to move it around much. The third gear in particular, it's a very useful gear if you are stuck in traffic situations like this or a slow moving traffic. It has a very wide range, so you can cruise from around 30 km/h to a high speed of over 100 km/h. Apart from that, there has been no changes in the car. The steering system, however, has been updated. It's a new electric power steering. It gets different modes actually, so just like the engine modes that the Tata Harrier used to get, it now works on the steering as well. So if I change the mode by using the buttons right in the center console, if I put it in the eco mode, the weight of the steering, it becomes lighter, and if I put it in the sport mode, it becomes heavier, inducing more confidence, especially if you're driving the car in an aggressive way or at higher speed. When you start the car, it remains in the city mode and in a balanced weight of the steering wheel as well. The steering wheel itself, it remains good enough. It's quite balanced. I wouldn't say it's very enthusiastic to drive, but it does the job quite well. Now, apart from that, the suspension has been retuned according to the weight of the new Harrier. So there has not been any massive changes. However, the suspension have gone through little tweaks that makes it little more planted than before. So if you have driven around the previous Harrier, or you have talked to an owner who owns a Harrier, they might have told you about the bouncy feeling or the bouncy nature of the Harrier. That feeling has come down. It has become more composed on the ground as well, but it is not an agile SUV, which means you can't change the direction very quickly, or if you decided at the last moment to change the lane, you will require some amount of practice to do that. But in straight lines, the Harrier, it remains a perfect vehicle, especially if you are going on long distance journeys and taking on the new expressways of India, which have a higher limit of around 120 km/h. This is a car built for such roads, straight roads. Tata has also updated the new Harrier with new ADAS features, which means it now gets combined or combination of 360-degree camera and 3 radars, one in front, 2 in rear, to give it more features. It also gets the blind spot monitoring system. We couldn't test it because of the traffic situation in Pune, but it is something that Tata says this car does do. Apart from that, the safety has been updated in this vehicle. So apart from the 360-degree camera views that I told you before, it also gets 6 airbags as standard across the variant. So starting right from base variant, you get 6 airbags as standard. The top end variant that we are driving right now, it gets as many as 7 airbags, including an airbag for the driver's knee. Now, as I told you before, the Tata Harrier was always a popular choice in the Indian market. With the new changes, with the new feature additions, and of course the new looks, the Tata Harrier has become much bolder, much better equipped than before. The customers will definitely choose it for its aggressive road stance and its spacious cabin, plus now the features as well. Yes, there remains a few refinement issues, but that has never bothered the Tata customers before as well. Now, the only thing that we do not know about the new Tata Harrier is its price, and Tata will reveal that on 17th October. As always, Tata is expected to play an aggressive price game with the new Harrier as well. What do you think the new price of the Harrier will be? Do let us know in the comment section, and as always, do not forget to subscribe to the Car Talk channel.